Welcome, witches and wizards. But let's begin. Find somewhere comfortable and let's get into the story of Aurora. We begin with Aiden, the god of light and fate. Before Aiden, there was a oneness of everything. It had an idea, a world where things could be experienced and appreciated, where everything had another. The oneness turned into Aiden and set to work on a three-dimensional world called Aurora. With Aiden's elephant-like body, he floated in the fourth dimension, seeding the first to the last moments of Aurora. After working tirelessly, the first ever moment began, but Aiden wasn't the one to appreciate it. Jessica, the goddess of darkness and shadows. The first ever moment began with a bright light, and out of this light, Jessica was born. She was a manta ray goddess. Her darkness grew out of the light, but sought out darker depths. So she created a bottomless ocean and covered it in a layer of smoke. Now feeling at home, she still felt alone. Her twin flame, Aiden, couldn't appear in the three-dimensional world of Aurora. Jessica would sometimes see reflections of Aiden working on the moment's seeds. But Jessica won't get to hold Aiden in this lifetime. Scarlet, the goddess of protection and grounding. Out of the bottomless ocean, a huge sea turtle swam out. Scarlet was born. She became the land of Aurora. Her shell went from sand at the coast to mountain peaks in the middle. She floats around and in the smoky water current. And her limbs look like islands. Then Sage, the goddess of magic and balance. Due to the opposites that had been created, darkness and light, water and earth, male and female, Sage was born. She brings balance to these things, but not how you think she does. She doesn't care for scales, instead allows full expression of both sides. This is what helped her find magic. Sage is a koi mermaid and used to live in the ocean. But she could always see the highest mountain peaks on Skylar and knew she belonged there. Her belief grew and grew until it knocked the balance out of the moment. And Aurora had to bend around Sage's will. She swam out of the ocean and into the air, all the way to the tallest mountain, and then lifted the mountains with her. Still to this day, her will holds the mountains in the air. Violet, the goddess of wisdom and knowledge. Violet appeared next to Aurora and was instantly in awe with the rich world she was in. She wished to know all knowledge of this world. Violet was a raven with wings. Was a raven woman with wings. So she flew around, gathering everything she needed to build a library. Now in her library, she records everything said, written, and done in Aurora. Oreo, the god of communication and truth. Oreo, on arrival, immediately created language, becoming the messenger of the gods and helping them all communicate. He also is the protector of truth and doesn't let lies spread through Aurora. Oreo can take on any form to get where he is going fastest, but he likes relaxing as a panda in front of a warm fire. Lily, the goddess of intuition and dreams. Aiden had to create Lily as a cure to a growing problem. The other gods were struggling in their new bodies and were trying to revert to the oneness they came from. So Lily brought dreams into Aurora, allowing them to return to source without losing their being. Lily is one of the hardest gods to contact, as she lives in a thunderstorm above the ocean, and her face is always covered by a large moth. She communicates to others through their dreams, and yet most of the other gods had never seen her face. And when she speaks, it's always about future moments. And to the person, it feels like they are intuitively talking to themselves. Kelly, the goddess of life and love. Kelly arrived and created life on Aurora, in the oceans and on the land. Creatures of all shapes and sizes cropped up and started multiplying. Kelly is half flamingo, half woman. And she set up her home in the heart of her creations, on Scarlet's back. Then we have Alexander, the god of power and control. Alexander was the firecracker of the gods, always trying to do good, but messing it up on the way. Most of the gods just call him Alex at this point. He is a minotaur and always carries an axe. Alex's biggest mistake began due to his fondness for Kelly. He assumed Kelly was scared of the ocean, as she never went near it or in it. Alex hoped to please Kelly, so took it on himself to take control of the ocean. After Jessica found out, let's just say she wasn't too happy. But Alex didn't care, as he was already set on his goal. This began the Great War of the Gods. Alex also dragged Kelly and Scarlet to his aid with corrupted lies and illusions. And outnumbered and outmatched, Jessica started to weaken. The ocean level dropped and the creatures in the water went into hibernation. Then Igor, the god of chaos and death. Aiden feared the worst for Jessica, and created Igor, a dragon-like cat, to end the war. First, Igor ended Oreo's chaos. So he had time to bring truth to Kelly and Scarlet. Why the war had started. Oreo then also told Jessica there was no point to the war. But that wasn't enough. Alex still fought for control for the ocean. So to end Alex's conquest, Igor put a curse on Alex to always seek power over others, but for it to never last longer than Scarlet's cycle around Aurora, ending the Great War, but also dropping the gods of Aurora into despair. As they now knew all their new goals would one day die. Ted, the god of success and prosperity. After the Great War, dust had settled. There was still a low energy in the air due to Igor's passive, bringing everyone's days to an end. Ted arrived and didn't see it the same way. He was a polar bear with an owl-like head. And the first thing he did was collect all the stars and bring them to his crystal lair. Each star had its own dream and purpose. And so was not scared of death. As even though the present moment will pass, he doesn't have to let go of his overall dream. Failure becomes part of the process of success. The other gods started to get curious to what Ted was doing. They all saw him collecting the stars, but then he vanished. Kelly knew Scarlet like the back of her hand and went to find out what Ted was doing. Aiden fated this encounter. So Kelly found Ted quite quickly. Well, she found his cave quite quickly, shouting louder and louder as she got deeper and deeper in the cave. But Ted was too busy mastering all the dreams of this world and couldn't hear Kelly. Kelly kept searching all day, getting lost in rooms full of stars until she finally found him. Ted looked confused. And when he saw a shouting Kelly in his face, he said nothing and went back to work. Kelly, tired and frustrated, grabbed Ted by the paw and dragged him all the way out of the cave while Ted was still holding the star he was working on. Kelly didn't stop there. She dragged Ted through her desert oasis, her rainforest, her mushroom meadows, and her diamond beach. As they traveled, Ted forgot about his work and started falling in love with everything he saw. Weeks passed and Ted noticed something. The only constant in his life was Kelly. He appreciated everything that Kelly had shown him, but it was her time and presence he appreciated the most. Ted sat Kelly down. And after told her how he felt, Kelly also admitted She was so happy getting to share her creations with another. And she hadn't even felt this good before the war. Ted pulled out the star he had been working on and gifted his first ever star to Kelly. On it was a purpose, Kelly's new purpose. It is to share her love and life with the world around her, the same way she had shown love and life over the months. Ted. From that day, Ted would then gift all the gods a purpose. And Aurora was finally fit and fighting once again. Even though short-term goals would always come and end, there was now a deeper meaning behind everything, giving them the courage to move on. Ted went back to mastering the rest of his stars, but now he always has time when Kelly is around. Stephen, the final god, the god of joy and creativity. Stephen arrived shortly after. Ted and Kelly found love. He was a curious squirrel who never felt like he had anything specific to do, and would always find himself lost after going on crazy journeys through Aurora. After traveling and exploring all of Scarlet, he even invented a boat to explore the ocean. Through his travels, he constantly bumped into new people, and always is able to bring a smile to their face. But due to him always being on the road, he never has a companion. So he wanders alone, free and present, always. And that is the creation story of Aurora. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. But from me, I'll be back next Monday. So stay kind, stay cute, stay curious, my friends. And I'll see you all very soon.